What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here with yet another Tottenham update for you guys, and we're going to start off talking about Ryan Mason, as Sasha Tavoleri says that Tottenham coach Ryan Mason is leading the race now to become the new Anderlecht head coach. Talks are now advanced. Sammy Mokbel says that Mason believes he is ready for a crack at his first manager's job, and Paul O'Keefe says Mason is indeed a contender for the Anderlecht managerial job, and talks continue, which is quite a big development, to be fair, for Ryan. Obviously, like he mentioned, would be his first managerial job. It's a place where Vincent Kompany made his name, and he's at Bayern Munich now, obviously with a stopover in Burnley in between. But yeah, some big news for Ryan.
Yeah, it'd be an incredible opportunity for him to get a job at such a big club at Anderlecht, who, as you say, have got a history of giving young managers opportunities, like Vincent Kompany. Obviously, has made a really good name for himself since then. Obviously, he's been a coach at Tottenham now ever since retiring. After he had that horrible head injury against Hull, back in, I think it was 2017 or 2016, and he has had a couple of stints as caretaker manager to mixed results. But I think it's fair to say, whenever he's come in as caretaker manager, you've seen what he's trying to do, and you've seen a kind of way of playing. Things have generally improved a bit. I wouldn't say it's been unbelievable, but when he first came in under Mourinho, when he came in, and results were mixed, but he had some decent wins. I think we ended the season with some decent results. I remember we beat Southampton. Obviously, he lost the cup final, but it was only 1-0. We could have gone
0-0 going to that stage.
Yeah, it was only 1-0 that game, and he was not too far off. We didn't play too badly that game, and I think we had some bad results as well. But then, obviously, he took over when Stellini had that horrible result away at Newcastle. We lost 6-1. And he kind of steadied the ship a bit, got a few wins, albeit I think we did lose like 3-1 at home to Burnley under him. But yeah, to be fair, he's taken over in chaotic states, hasn't he? So it can't all go swimmingly. But I think there has been an improvement, I think it's fair to say, whenever he's taken over. So having been a coach now under some really great managers, Pochettino, Conte, Mourinho, now Ange, maybe he feels like it's time for him to have his crack of the whip. And look, you see now, manager, you got Hertzler, who's 31, he's a manager in the Premier League. Nagelsmann became a manager in the Bundesliga at 28, I think it was. So why not? I mean, how old is he? 32 or something? Like, he's probably still fairly young, isn't he?
Around about that age. And, not only those managers, but he also played under Pochettino, and he had a very close relationship with Poch, didn't he? And he said previously in interviews that he's taken a lot from that time in terms of his coaching methods and his managerial methods and stuff like that. So when you look at the managers he's worked under, like you say, all the managers that you say, and Pochettino, he's got a lot of good role models to look up to. And there's always been a stigma around Ryan Mason from sections of the Spurs fan base about, he's terrible, he's this, he's that. But I don't buy into that whatsoever, and I think he will be a good manager one day.
He's a young manager, and he's, as I've just said, he's taken over when we've been in crisis and in a mess. And of course, it's never going to completely turn around when in his first stints as manager. But I think he's done all right, and I think he speaks well. And I think maybe watch this space, I think, when it comes to maybe a future Tottenham manager, in my opinion.
For sure. When the day comes that Ange goes, he's definitely going to be in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, depending, obviously, how he does Anderlecht.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if he's going to be the next manager, but I think there'll be talks of it.
Depends how he does.
Yeah, if he does well.
Yeah, if he does well, like a bit like Kompany does, and maybe takes another Premier League job, then he'll definitely be in the thoughts of the management, because he's a manager who likes to play the Tottenham way. He understands the club. He's a Tottenham boy. So I don't think I can think of a better guy, if he has the talent to do it, to be in charge. And I'm sure he would, if he ever got the opportunity, which obviously he's done twice, he would jump at the chance. I'm not saying, this is me saying I want him to be the next Tottenham manager or anything, but I'm really intrigued and excited to see how he does at Anderlecht, because definitely the club will be keeping an eye on him. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, for sure. There's always been behind the scenes, apparently, from what we've been hearing through the press, there's been a confidence that he can go on and be a good manager.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Let's talk about Tyler Dibling, which is an interesting one. The Footy Insider says that Spurs and Man United have been watching Dibling. The youngster has now also caught the attention of a lot of other Premier League sides. It's explained that many clubs expect the Saints to go straight back down to the Championship and thus believe that they will get a good chance to swoop for the winger. The report suggests that if Southampton Academy graduate continues shining, there could be a major scramble for his signature in 2025. And I know it's a player that you've been heavily impressed with so far.
Yeah, since I first saw him against Man United, I think he's really impressed me. A player of high energy, clearly good quality, good technical ability as well. And what was interesting the other week, he's been playing predominantly like either right midfield or like right wing back for Southampton or right back. And the other week, he actually started the game up front. He was like playing as a striker and actually caused some problems. And this is a kid who's only 18. He's already making an impact in a Southampton side who was very much struggling in the Premier League. Yeah, he's been a shining light. I think he already scored a goal, brilliant goal he scored as well. He won a penalty in that Man United game, which Southampton missed at the time. But he's really, really impressed me. Obviously, we're definitely in the market of young players, I think it's fair to say. And he definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if he's one we're keeping an eye on, because when you've got a player that age performing at this kind of level, you have to take note.
What's his natural position? Is it right or left wing?
I think he's more of a midfielder, but he's been covering the right back slot.
Oh, okay.
Like at the moment.
Because I thought he was a natural winger. Is he not a natural winger?
I think he's a midfielder. He's clearly very versatile. I'm not sure. I think at the moment they're playing him on at fullback, or wing back, I should say, and it's been right back.
Let's see what his natural.
But I don't know. I think
is.
at youth level, I don't know what his actual where he was playing at youth level, and where he's been playing throughout his career. He wasn't part of the team really last year. He's only really just breaking into the team. So
Transfer Market have him down as a natural right winger.
Okay, so at the moment it seems he's playing wing back, and but he's actually a winger. The right winger, but he played up front the other week as well, which is interesting.
It says throughout his youth career, he's had stints at right wing, left wing, and attacking midfielder.
Okay, very interesting.
So yeah, and he's played for England up until the England under-19s, the 16s, 17s, 18s, and 19s.
He'll be in the under-21
and he's
soon.
18 at this current moment in time. So. Maybe definitely one to watch his space, because when you're looking at the talent that Spurs are collecting from around Europe at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if we go in for Dibling in the summer.
And I think a lot will depend on, how he sees Bergvall, Gray, Mikey Moore, Lancashire, how he sees them all getting on, and also with the guy we'll talk about in a minute. But these are young players who, Ange said, the how we sold them coming to this club is giving them opportunities, and we have to do that. And other players will look at the situation thinking, look, they are giving young players opportunities. So he'll probably be keeping an eye on that if Tottenham are seriously interested.
Particularly as a player that will have a year of Premier League experience behind their belt as well. And he's already shining in the first few appearances he had for Southampton. So let's see how his season progresses. Next up, we're going to talk about Yang Min-hyuk. He is absolutely on fire in South Korea at the moment. On loan at Gangwon FC, he scored his 10th goal of the campaign at the last week against Incheon United. The youngster has now scored 10 goals and notched up 6 assists in his debut campaign in the Korean League, and he's obviously set to join Spurs in the January transfer window.
Yeah, absolutely flying. It'll be interesting to see what we do with him come the in January. If he comes straight into the first team, does he loan him out, or maybe goes into under 21s? But look, as much as it's just the K-League, when you're doing that in your first season at any level at 18 in the top division at any level, it's still impressive. And clearly he's absolutely flying at the moment. There's a nice goal I saw him score as well, really nice finish. And with our winger injuries at the moment, I feel like we could need him at the moment, but hopefully by January we won't have those kind of issues. But be really interesting. I'm excited to see what we do with him in January, because he's now a regular. I don't know if he's been called up for Korea.
I think he has. So Sonny's injured as well, so that makes sense.
I think he's becoming a regular in squads, and not really starting, but he's becoming regular in squads. He's getting regular goal contributions. So
you'd expect with Sonny out injured for this international stage, then he should get some game time.
I'd hope so. I will be taking a look at it. So very interesting what we do with him, because another winger who comes with a lot of promise. Obviously, look, K-League, we know it's a different level, and physically, we saw when he played against Spurs, as much as he looked bright, is he up? Is he going to be up to the task straight away? To adapt to the Premier League physicality. We'll have to wait and see when he gets here. But generally, in terms of the quality and the potential of him, very exciting.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the generational talent, which is Luca Vuskovic, which every single Spurs fan is getting so excited watching this guy. If you've seen all the compilations doing the rounds on social media, the goals, which he seems to be scoring goals every weekend at this point. Ali Gold says that Vuskovic is sending a major message to Tottenham with his performances this season, and he'll be ready for first-team football when he arrives next summer as an 18-year-old. Postecoglou has already made it clear that he does not want to block the path for the teenager who has been described as a generational talent back home in Croatia. He scored another 2 goals in one game over the weekend.
I hope it's not just people on social media in Croatia calling him that. I hope there's coaches and stuff.
There was a news outlet that was saying it. But if you can you bring up my phone? I just want to go through a few tweets regarding Luka Vuskovic. First of all, this one here from Connor saying the guy's so gassed to join us that he wears Tottenham shin pads. Look at that from Luka Vuskovic wearing Tottenham shin pads.
Go on, Lucas. He's fully COYS.
He's fully COYS already. This one, I don't think that's actually true. I think he was actually called up to the under-21s.
Still at 17, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, he was called up to under-21s in the last international break as well. Look at this, his game by numbers last weekend. 90 minutes, 2 goals, 7 shots, 12 touches in the opposition box, 20 passes into the final third, 6 out of 6 aerial duels won and 6 ball recoveries, 7 shots from a centre-back.
I mean, I don't know if you have some of the footage here, but his individual highlights are one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen in my life. I watched
from a
it.
17-year-old.
I was watching. I'm like, what the hell have we signed? This is he's getting the ball from 30 yards, dipping shots like just over the bar, heading,
passing as well.
He had 2 headers from one scored and one forced a brilliant save from the keeper. He had the second goal he scored, unbelievable finish, like a striker's finish, picked it up in the box and fired it into the roof of the net. His passing on left foot, right foot, long range passing on a play, switches of play, like through balls. I thought I was watching an attacking midfielders compilation. I'm watching him, a 17-year-old centre back, and his movement as well. He's so tall and strong, but clearly he's quite quick on his feet. But on the ball play was astounding. And if you get a chance, go and seek out his individual highlights of their last game, because it really is a sight to behold. And as you say, that's his 4th goal of the season.
Yep. Well, actually 5th in all competitions. He scored in the Croatian Cup as well.
Astonishing.
Croatian news outlet Vechinji List has claimed that Spurs prospect Luka Vuskovic is a generational talent off the back of his brilliant performance on the weekend. Ben McClear says, of the 180 players to contest 10-plus aerial duels, none have a better aerial success rate than Luka Vuskovic, with its 83.3 in the Belgian league this season.
Wow.
The Croatian lad says, as of making this statistic, Luka Vuskovic has only been beaten in aerial duels 6 out of 33 times this season. 5 goals and assists in his first 10 games in Belgium at the only 17 years of age. He has absolutely dominated the competition and become an integral part of Westerlo this season.
It's insane.
This was one of his goals as well, just a towering header in the box, and look at the confidence to just jump in the crowd as well as a 17-year-old. He's firmly a fan favourite there already.
Clearly a lot of passion, but
you look at that.
He's dominating at such a young age. And look, Belgium.
Oh, look at that.
Whatever you want to say about it's a brilliant finish as well, through for the net. It's unbelievable for a centre-back to be this good on the ball. It's such an exciting prospect. And whatever you want to say about the Belgian league, what kind of level it is, it's not that bad. And for a 17-year-old to be dominating like that is really something really exciting. And for sure, if he can play at that kind of level, that age, I think he sounds like he could be ready for first-team football next season, to be honest.
Just some of these stats are incredible. Like 0.5 key passes per game, 0.45 expected assists per game, touches per game 55.4. Where's the shots per game? 1.5 shots per game, 0.4 goals per game, 0.7 shots on target per game. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? 17-year-old centre back.
Get him in. Bring him back to Spurs. We need him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not now, but yeah.
And he had these these quotes as well after the game where he scored 2 goals. I think the game finished 2-2. He says, "I can't be satisfied. We only got 1 point. We played a good game, but we need to work more on the defence and be more focused." He was quoted as of saying after the game, "That's a task for the whole team. I'm happy I scored twice, but it's a shame I couldn't score more, as I definitely had 2 good other chances." So he wanted 4 goals in the game.
Yeah, of course he did. He should have. He could have with some of his efforts on goal, which he had. There was one just from 30 yards out, this dipping effort, like unbelievable technique, and it just landed on the roof of the net. It looked like it was dipping right into the top corner. I was watching like, wow, like that is quite incredible. So I think it's very, very exciting for when he comes to Spurs next season, how he performs.
Yeah, and obviously those stats were brought to you by SofaScore. Link in the description below if you want to download the greatest app on the App Store right now. And it follows on, doesn't it? Like how he just took the Polish league to the cleaners as well. He scored 3 goals in 14 games in the Polish league.
16, yeah.
At 16. And now in an even better league, which is like by far a better league, the Belgian league to the Polish league, he scored 4 goals in 10 games in league appearances and 1 goal in the cup.
When he comes to the Premier League, it's going to be 10 goals. That's what we say. He keeps doubling his goal tally.
100%. Next up, let's talk about these quotes from Mickey van der Ven. He's now on international duty, and he says, "I think that Tottenham as a team are playing really well and should have earned more points than we actually have now." And he also said on the Brighton game that it made him feel quite ill. I think it made us all feel quite ill, to be honest.
Not surprised. He's probably still spinning from some of his mistakes. I think, Rutter was making him spin a lot in that game. Look, that was probably, I wouldn't say it's his worst game because probably maybe the Newcastle game, but I've seen a lot of people, I mean, mainly Arsenal fans, but a lot of people like having a go at it, like going after him on social media. Let's be honest, like this guy's had like 2 bad games in a Spurs shirt. He's so consistent. He's still such a young centre back. Yes, you're going to have bad games. You're going to have off days. It was definitely an off day for him, but we all know how good he is. We all know what he brings to the team. So I've got no worries about him. Yes, I agree with him. We've definitely been playing better than maybe our results suggest, and we should have seen that game out. But we got what we deserved on Sunday, and he was a part of that, unfortunately. But hopefully it was a big learning curve. Yeah,
I feel the only reason the Arsenal fans going so hard into him is because we like wax lyrical about him every single week. You know, he's our best performer on the pitch pretty much week in, week out. And look, he put in a bit of a disaster class in that second half, but he'll come back stronger, no doubt about it. And last but not least, Lucas Bergvall was talking on him being subbed so early against Karabag, and he says, "Of course I was disappointed, but I completely understood the decision. It was just a matter of letting go and moving on." And I did feel like that it has been playing on his mind, maybe consciously or subconsciously, I don't know, and it has kind of maybe slightly impacted his performances. But again, I have no doubt that this guy is going to be a massive player for us.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to say that it's down to that. He's a young player. Obviously, he'll be disappointed to come off early. He came on against Man United. He started the game against Ferencvaros. He's going to get more opportunities. I'm still really excited and happy with what I'm seeing from him. I think he's such a talent, and I'm really excited. Is he in the Sweden squad or?
I'm not sure actually.
But I'm excited to see after the international break for when Europa League comes around, him starting games again.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm just checking if he's in the Swedish squad. I've got it here. Yeah, he is.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so him and Decky.
Looking forward to their link up over the break.
Absolutely. And that interview that they did together, you could just see the kind of relationship that they have off the pitch, and hopefully that soon can be translated to on the pitch.
They both think they're faster than each other.
Yeah, they've got a nice little rivalry going, haven't they?
Who do you think's faster?
Me, I think I'll probably just about side with Bergvall.
Really? I was going to say Decky.
Really?
I think Decky's a bit faster, but interesting.
Yeah, well, anyway, they did both admit that there's not too much in it.
True.
But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we've brought to you today. And I want to see you all wax lyrical about Luca Vuskovic, that generational talent, in the comment section below, because us two here are just so excited about him. Every week that progresses, just something new, unbelievable comes out.
Vuskovic always scored again.
Yeah, literally. But big up everyone. We'll see you all very soon. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.